Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my everyday brow routine, so if you want to see this, then just keep watching. So the first thing I like to do is use a spoolie to kind of groom out my brows. I'm just using the Tarte Angled Brow brush that I have. So I just like to make sure that they're nice and groomed and prepped for filling them in. So I like to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Dark Brown. I really like this pencil because it does give a natural look to the eyebrows. So usually I start by outlining the top, and then I will go in and outline the bottom, and then I like to fill in what's in the middle. I do like to round out my arch at this time, and then if I ever make any mistakes, I can always just go back in with concealer and all that stuff. So this is a great way to start out with your eyebrows. Brow pencil, then a brow powder. I guess it's totally your preference, but I like to use this for a more natural look, even though I do fill mine in with powder. I do like this pencil alone by itself. Most of the time I usually don't go in the inner corner of my brows, but this time I'm going to because I do like a little bit more of a defined brow. It's totally your preference. You don't have to go into the inner corner. You can always just leave that and then fill that in with the brow powder, and that will definitely give it a more natural look. Then I like to go back in and do And I like to use flicking motions because it does mimic hair, so that is just preference. Once you kind of learn your brows, you do have your own routine, so this is just my routine. And then once I get to the inner corner, I do like to make them flicking motions again, so it does make them look a little bit fuller towards the inner corner. I like to kind of sit back a little bit and look at my brows and see if they do match, and if there's any parts that I do need to fill in a little bit more. If one looks a little bit thinner, just like my right brow right here, it did feel a little bit thinner to me, so I am thickening it up a little bit so it matches. And then I go in and blend. I have been obsessed with the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow powder. This is the dark brown duo. It does come in all kinds of different shades. It comes with 2 different colors. So I use the darker shade for probably like half of my brow. So I like to use the Angled Brow Brush by Tarte, and I just kind of outline my brows, and then I fill in the middle just like I did with the pencil. I believe these brow powder duos are $22 or $24. You can buy them at Sephora or Ulta, just like the brow pencil. And I just recently bought the Dip Brow Pomade. I have not used that yet, so I'm really excited to try that for you guys. Then once I work my way to the inner corner, I like to use the lightest shade, and I like to use flicking motions again because I don't like them to look too stark into the inner corner. I like them to look a little bit more natural. Sometimes they don't look completely natural, obviously, but this is just a good way to fill in the inner corner because I have struggled for years on how to do my brows, and now that I finally have a brow routine, I'm so glad that I can share it with you guys so you guys can figure out how you like your brows done. Then I just do the same with the other side. For carving out my brows, I really like the Morphe G20 Flat Definer brush. It's a really nice brush to get into the creases and really carve out your brows. So I just use the Urban Decay Weightless Naked Concealer. I don't know the name, something like that, but it's in the shade Fair Neutral. I was kind of having a tough time deciding if I wanted to use this or the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Concealer, but this is a little bit more of a lightweight concealer, so it's easier to work with, and it doesn't like look cakey underneath your brows or anything. So right now I really like to straighten out my brows and fix any mistakes that I made. If there's any little hiccups, is that the word? Though I think it's an easier way to make them look a little bit more clean cut and defined. So, and then I like to clean up the tails too, because usually I like to overdraw right there. And then I go on the top. Once I clean up the top, I kind of use like the actual flat side of the brush. No, no, what is this? Usually I just blend out the concealer with my fingers because I think it's a little bit easier than using a beauty blender. That way you don't get into your actual brow and mess it up, because I learned that the hard way. And then I like to set the concealer with just the leftover powder on my powder brush. Then I like to blend in my brows a little bit more with the spoolie again, and then I just fill in any parts that I went over with and this is the finished look. Please make sure you guys check out my Instagram, and I will have a link down below for my latest video also. Bye guys.